All right, so let's do your install. Mike had all this stuff. He was gonna do it himself. I got him got all set up with all the parts and pieces he needed. He said, hey, do you think you can drill a hole in my cinder block for me so I can get water through here? So I did do that. I just core drilled it. And I'm like, well, we're here. Why don't we just start it? Why don't we just do it? I know you were kind of like, oh, well, I don't know if I'm gonna do it as well as you. I'm just gonna kind of bug. So we don't want things crooked. So I say, let's see how far we get. I'm here already. Let's just see how far we get. Okay? We'll do. What is the setup? So we're doing our dual Kranzles. We're gonna do the prototype wand holder, right, for you?
Yep. This is in the works. Time
yep.
Developing this.
Yep. Yep. So I think it's pretty straightforward. Now we are pre-plumbing. We talked about this. We're kind of setting this up for our DI system. So you're not going to see a CR spotless under this. You're going to see 2 Kranzles and a reel, and then we're going to put the DI solution, our DI solution, over here. So that's why I put the hole way over here. So your water runs in, goes into the DI, out of the DI. We'll put a bucket filler after DI, so you can either run DI water in your buckets or not. And then we'll come up and tee off a supply into both Kranzles. I'm gonna have to run you power. 2 dedicated 20s will come up through the attic, come over to your panel. Luckily it's in the garage. And I'm also gonna run you another 20 over there next to that cabinet for your irrigation system, and then anything else you wanna plug in to the right side of the cabinet. So we'll kind of pre-wire that. It's pretty hot, even still, it's hot. So I think we'll get the wiring up there, lay it up there, and then when some cool morning, maybe on a weekend, I'll come out and I'll get up in the attic and run it down into the panel, because it's probably 125 up there.
Yeah.
We have plenty to do down here.
Yeah.
So anyway, let's do it. Michael?
Yeah, also.
It's kind of fun working at your house.
Are you supplying with some iced lattes?
You did, yeah.
First thing, what are you gonna do?
First thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go outside. I'm gonna tie in your plumbing. I'll get your, I had you buy a ball valve, yep. So that way we'll tee off. Let's go look at it. Okay, the last Home Depot run when you got more tap cons, you picked all this stuff up. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna cut this off. We're gonna tee. We're gonna put another hose bib, a new hose bib, because this one leaks, you said. Yep. It doesn't work, and plus you bought a quarter turn. Yep. So we'll come up, tee, come this way all the way over to here, and blow through right there for where that pipe is for your supply. And we'll put a ball valve in somewhere. We'll hide it back behind this planter. And that'll get you taken care of as far as supply, and then we can turn your house water back on. Just keep that ball valve shut while we're doing all the stuff inside. And temporarily, I mean, obviously this will change, but I'll put a female adapter here. We'll thread this into it, Prevost all the way along the wall, 90 up, and then we'll tee off for your stainless steel flex lines to both pressure washers. And that'll take care of supply for now. So I say we tear it into this. So what I did was I took where we punched the hole through there, through the wall. I drew a level line from the bottom of the hole all the way across and transferred over here. So that way we know where the T, the bottom side of the T, we want it right at that line. That'll make us level all the way across. So what we gotta do is get all this paint off of here. We don't want, it won't stick to paint. You got plenty of it on there, and it's well painted, Michael. Plenty of coverage. What I don't want to do is scrape PVC, just paint. That failure behind me. Hey there, you want to sit next to me, okay? Because this has been painted, and we did all we did to get everything off and sand it on it, we want to prime it really well, because this cleans it really. And it gives a good surface for the glue to adhere to. It softens up the surface of the PVC too, so it really does adhere, welds it together more or less. But yeah, whenever I'm doing it new to old, I really take my time and prime the heck out of it, get it nice and clean, because this is, if you're gonna have a leak, this is where it'll be. Okay, I'd say that's pretty good. I always do a quarter turn. So you distribute the glue really well. Put on about a quarter out and then clock it whenever you can. All right. Okay. And we're right at our line, so it's perfect. All right, now we can do our hose bib.
So you recommend the quarter turn hose bib. What's that about?
I do, I like it. Here, I'll show you. So rather than having to you just simply on, off. Yep. So now I need a tape measure, Michael. I say a 12-inch piece. And you want to hold just for a sec, because a lot of times they'll squirt out. Right? So now we had your clamp. I think that's going to hold a lot better than the one that was in there, Michael. That's good, Michael. Now, that's nice, right, buddy? That's yours. It's a company you work for sells those, right? Here we go. Okay, now what we'll do is I'll get a piece of pipe, run it long from the outside, glue it in here, thread the Prevost on, then we can slide it in so it's all flush against our clamps. Because remember, this is going to be about like that, and then the Prevost 90 brings it out so it fits tightly against our clamps. So we'll pre-assemble all this, throw our clamps on the wall, get our pipe installed on the clamps, and then shove this through and cut it to fit to the correct length on the back side, and then glue our 90 on. Yeah, sometimes it matters which order you assemble things, you know? Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's a Florida special right there, huh? Nothing like that giant grasshopper.
Right.
I mean, that's a pretty big grasshopper, dude.
Yeah,
that's my hand. I don't have small hands. So that's a big grasshopper.
Yeah, that's
Another shot. Eastern Lubber is called.
Yeah, and he's got this red.
It's super colorful. Look at that. Look at the detail on him.
The image quality is great there, Mike. What are you working with there?
iPhone 14 Pro, buddy.
That looks pretty good.
Look at that.
Man, you got the full resolution here.
I mean, that's pretty good. I mean, it helps that it's big.
Yeah.
Look at the abdomen, though. It's very colorful. That's the most colorful one I've ever seen as well.
Yeah, they're very cool looking. And there he is crawling.
Look at that.
So I think I got about three of those that kind of.
They call this home.
Yeah,
They're almost as big as your Chihuahua.
Yeah.
Look at the spikes on the leg too. Look at that.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
You don't even notice all this till you realize. Oh, it's dual spikes too. They're like this. That's pretty crazy. I have to show this. We got to show this.
We gotta show it.
This is my beautiful daughter and granddaughter.
Oh my word.
So she's like not quite 2 weeks old yet. Look at that. It's precious, huh?
Indeed.
That's Taylor and Renly. Cute fam, huh?
It is. You've done all right, Mike.
Yeah, I did all right. Yep. Alrighty. Can't show grasshoppers without at least showing the kids, right? Okay. So this is our foam cannon.
I'm saying the fact that we have
Dream it all up, that we have everything ready to go. That's like just click and it shows up what you need. Yeah, it makes it so much easier. I mean, this was trial and error to get to this point, right? So this is our female adapter. It's going to poke through the wall. Put plenty of tape. I don't want to go so much that we split it, but we want it good and tight. There we go. Yeah, if you over tighten it, you get too far in here, it would probably split the fitting. But we're tight enough. I can actually see that it's slightly flared right here. So we don't want to go any tighter than that. All right. So now we just need a piece of pipe. We'll glue a piece of pipe on here. You getting tired yet, Mike? You ready to call it? Or should we keep going? You just call it. Well, we can always, I have to come back and do a few things. So we can always finish up next run, right? Okay. So this will go through about like yay. And then our Prevost pipe clamp, will go along the wall. With that fitting right tight against the wall, the bottom of the saddle, which is here, is at the same plane as this fitting pipe. So it'll just sit just like that. And these, we'll put the first clamp, you know, right about there and all the way down. And then we should have some pipe sticking out the other side. And see, so we ran it wild. So what we'll do is we'll get that all set and then we'll cut that off and glue our 90 in. So the 90 will be flush right against the wall there. So the only thing we have to do on that end is, like I did in here, I have to take that drill, the core drill, and open up that a little bit so that the fitting can fit inside. Yeah, it's great, perfect right there. Okay, all right, gluing your ball valve in. And the key in these ball valves, you don't want to slop too much glue inside because you don't want to gum up the ball valve itself. Yeah, so if you want to service anything pressure wash, you want to shut the water off. Well, I mean, we're going to have to put your DI in, right? So this way you can isolate the whole pressure washer system without having to turn off the water to the house. So, which is always, you should always do that. Anytime you add another subsystem in, you should add a shutoff valve. Sorry, Mike. Some rocks in there. All right, so I'll glue this sucker in. I think we'll want your valve out that way so you can easily turn it. Yep. If it's like this, it's going to be difficult. So and we'll just hold this for a second and we'll support that with the boxes for now. So let's do our Prevost inside. We're going to get our laser set up to split the fitting, and then we'll pre-drill and mount our clamps. Set our Prevost in place. Go. Line up to this. So now we've got to go do the gluing on this. So mark this one. We'll bring it through, cut it, see where that shoulder is there, and the inside of here is almost at 0. So we'll cut it right there. It should work out perfect. So what we have to do is we got to do this quickly. I got to prime and glue this, stick it, get the fitting prime and glued. So what I'll probably do is I'll prime and glue this. You'll hold on to this. Yep. I'll glue the get the fitting glued. You shove this through and make sure this 90 is pointing there. Yep. And then I'll glue the 90 on, okay? Okay, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna flex it up like this and shove it in, okay? So all I want you to do is support it just for a minute while it's setting up, and then we'll put the boxes under there to kind of support it, and then we'll get some clamps on it.
Mike, what do you say we get some nice lattes going?
Let's get some ice latte. That sounds really good, Mike. I think you should make it today, because you might be a little better at it than me. That is, Mike. That's a good looking beverage, Michael. Are you gonna partake as well?
Absolutely.
I feel like I should let this sit for a while. I didn't let it get cold enough yesterday. I just started drinking it right away. It was still warm on the way down. Yeah. All the big items you see here we sell.
Yep.
And there's no reason to buy it anywhere else. Our pricing's great. Am I wrong?
It's not
Yeah. And so if you found out about it through us, just get it from us.
You know, just the user experience of making it.
Oh, it's great.
Satisfying.
Yeah, it is.
So a lot like pressure washing or having a nice wash experience.
100%.
Like that's a good looking beverage.
It is. Yeah, that's tastes like yesterday's. It's really
consistent.
good.
That's the other thing.
Yeah.
Because you want to be able to replicate this. You don't want to fight.
Or I'm just as good as you are. I'm telling you, the glass straws make it.
That's a Wabanita.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Touch.
Good job.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could drink like 6 of these in a row.
It's just good.
My heart would probably speed up.
You feel nice and recharged.
That's quite tasty, Michael. All right, let's get back at it. Man, you need AC, buddy. My gosh, you need AC. We'll get the pressure washers installed on shelves, and then we can mount the reel, and then we can start plumbing from there.
Sweet.
We used to put the back leg of the shelf, top of that at 68 inches, which would put the pressure washer right about, here, right? And then that gives us room for the reel, and then there's the CR spotless underneath it. But because you're doing the DI solution, our DI solution over there at some point, we're not putting a CR down here. We can lower everything down a bit, so that way our second dual pressure washer is the other pressure washer to the dual pressure washer solution is not way up here. We'll have that will be right about here. And then second pressure washer right about here, and the reel down, so the crank for the reel will be somewhere in this area right here. I think that'll be more comfortable than having that second pressure washer way up top. Because if your wife wants to come out and pressure wash, she'd be having to jump to get that top switch. So we'll just keep this second shelf down right about at 60 inches. So that's 5 feet. So these are part of what we're kind of experimenting with for our solution, our DI solution, which will be an all incorporated like housing that'll house pressure washer, the DI solution, and the bypass valve all in one, and the reel assembly. So this is kind of a shelf that we had as part of that system. So we had a couple prototypes here, so we're using them here. So anyway, so I think the second shelf will be right there. The top one will be like right there. So yeah, I think so. And then you bought black Lutron covers, black Lutron receptacles. So everything's going to be black and gray over here, with the exception of the Kranzle will be blue. It's going to look good. So, common thing with these concrete anchors, when you drill into cinder block, it's not the strongest of concrete. So what I like to do on something that's going to bear quite a bit of weight is I cut one of these small plastic zip ties, and I insert that in the hole. I mean, this is common practice. A lot of people have seen, people do this, but you do this, and then when you screw the anchor in, it's much tighter than if you just screwed it in the concrete. So anything that's these pressure washers are like 60 pounds, so I think it's just a good safety measure to ensure that it's not going to pull loose. So, like that, just kind of right in there. So What do you think about that? So let's get a measurement, Michael. Hand me the tape measure. So bottom of shelf, 4.5 to top of bracket. Be nice to make this exact shelf out of stainless.
Yeah, this design.
Yep. I'll tell you one thing about them that I do like is that our shelves, the screws are in a triangular piece and the triangular piece has a little return on it, so that you have to put the screws in at a bit of an angle or get the driver at a bit of an angle to drive the screw in, whereas these you can use this long nut driver straight in, which does make it easier to install. I mean, I've never had a problem with ours either, and I think the stainless looks super nice. And I do like the brackets on ours being inset a little bit.
It looks more finished.
Yeah, I like that better than having them to the outside, but this is practical too. I mean, I think it looks good, don't you? So what I did was I marked level here, and then there's a dot where our center line is. So I marked the center line on your reel. So we just bring that up to here, right to our mark. It's okay. There we go. Okay. So I'm just, because I do top a hole. I don't do one down the middle. That way, if the reel's gonna slide, it's gonna slide to top the bolt, right? So now, I got it started anyway. Don't laugh, Mike. It works. So this 1/4 inch nut driver, long one, and then you put the 5/16 in there, and now I can reach straight in there. So zip tie into the hole, and we're taking our fender washer, 1 3/4 Tapcon. It's known as good and tight. Famous dad last words, buddy.
It's extra dad when you have the 6 foot long extension.
That's right, buddy. Hey. That's right. Okay, Michael. I like it. It looks nice and tidy, right, like that. And you're never gonna hit your knuckles there. How many wraps do I do? 6 or 7. No, just make sure you don't cross thread it, because you're trying to bend in the hose to get it in, it's possible to inadvertently cross thread. We'll need a backup wrench for here, Michael. Well, I don't know that you'll have that. This is like a 30. I think we can use adjustable wrench though, Mike. I think that's what it is. Yep. Look at you, Michael. Yeah. So the problem is a lot of times this fitting isn't very tight. So it ends up being that I tighten this into this.
Yeah. I remember it was leaking at threads.
Yep. All right. Put our anti-vibration clamp on. All right. So that's nice and clean. So now what we need to do is we need to stretch the hose out nice and long so I can roll it up straight.
It's the OG hose, Mike.
Yes, I know it is. So yes, she took the assist while you grabbed the camera, Mike. Okay, where's the final piece of the puzzle, Mike? 24, and this one is like 19, I think. Now the PP plug can go on.
Like that's automatic there.
The strain relief. Bend restrictor. Nice. Let's catch that. So this is really key. Plus it weights the hose end a little down a little bit. I know you've turned it a million times, but don't pressurize the system with the PP plug in there. You have to disconnect the high pressure side somewhere to relieve the pressure. So these are our adapters. If you have a vise, it makes it a lot easier. That's my tip. Having to do this like this is not the easiest of ways to do it, You know, because you can, if you were to clamp this T in a vise and tighten these, it's so much simpler. But we don't have that ability because we haven't got around to installing your orange vise yet. You have it on order, but we don't have it yet. That's what it is, yeah. You may have to set down that camera and hang onto a wrench for me. Pull towards you. Okay, let's see where we are. Go. Okay, so almost another 3/8 of a turn. Okay. Nope, that's it. Looks good. Okay. Doesn't look like we hurt the threads either. The other thing too, which is nice on these, is to use pipe tape and some pipe dope, like thread sealant tape. Thread sealant paste, because it lubricates the threads a bit too. All right. So basically, what we're doing is we're installing these two-way valves, which means they're either on or off, right? So these mount on the 90s here. Let's get this back on here. And I'll explain how this looks. So basically, you got pressure washer 1 and 2 feeding into the valves. You can isolate by simply turning a valve on or off. And then out of this, we're going to come with another whip hose. And this whip hose comes up and feeds the reel. So 2 pressure washers in, through the T, to the whip, to the hose reel. That's all set up. We hope they're tight enough. Without a vise, like I said, that's the piece of advice I have. If you're doing this, go borrow a vise, buy a vise, because doing this on the ground or on your workbench is going to be tough. They need to be really tight. So I think, I don't like them crossing over, but let's see how this looks. Actually, that doesn't look bad. What do you think about that, Mike? That's a good look, because they're falling, these 2 hoses are falling the same angle. So short hose on the outside. We'll do the non-swivel on the T, and then we'll use the swivel to go into the Cox Reel. Because this is stationary, we have to be able to turn the swivel. We do, custom links. Do we have it on the site now that you can order? Nice, I'm glad that's good, that's good, I'm glad that's active, because that's nice to have. Yep. Now we want to back up this so we don't bend this. So I get it, reasonably tight, and then I grab something to back this up so we're not twisted on that. So let's see what you have here. You don't need to put a lot of pressure on it, just enough that we're backing it up a little bit. This is really the opposite way a pipe wrench works, but we'll, yeah. Let's just need a little bit of assistance. Okay. All right. All right, so now we're gonna mount that something like right there, I think, huh? All right, so we stayed late. We got this finished, got that buttoned up, wrapped up our Pro Slat video, and then we had all this stuff sitting here. So we gave your pressure washer, your dual pressure washer, a crack at it. So we're almost done, really. So I think what we'll do is, it's getting late. It's about dark. So we'll come back maybe on a Saturday or Sunday or something. I'll come over and we'll wrap this up. So we don't have much left to do. We've got the electrical we have to run from your main panel. We've got 2 20 amp dedicators to put. We'll put one here, one here. We have to get our supply, water supply. What we're gonna do, I think what we decided to do, is actually it's okay because we changed our plan. We were gonna come up, tee out with Prevost, put a 90 amp Prevost and then a valve. But I think I talked you into putting we have a 3/4 inch female pipe, which it's a T, so it accepts the 1 inch Prevost, and then it has a 3/4 inch female pipe that we can thread in a stainless steel 3/4 inch quarter turn hose bib. So we'll do that here, and then you can use our 24 inch bucket filler. We'll put that at 48 inches roughly. So that'll take care of that. And then we just have our high pressure stuff to hook up to here. We need to get our anti-vibration clamps installed to hold the valves up here. We'll do all that next time out. We'll get the electrical done. We've got our plumbing, our water supply already in. So yeah, we don't have much left to do. We're well over halfway. So I think we just need to, I'm tired, dude.
Yeah, I think we've,
yeah.
These cabinets working in this garage.
It's hot, dude. It's 100 degrees in here, and it's humid. You go in your house in 74, it feels like you can hang meat in there because it's so much different than out here. Anyway, we'll just, and you've been taking care of me. You've had plenty of bubbly water.
I've been trying.
You have given me some iced cappuccinos, or iced lattes, I should say. Iced lattes, which has been nice. We had some charcuterie for a snack.
That was good.
Prosciutto, some smoked Gouda. It was a good time.
Very sophisticated taste. So
I do. You do have to keep up, Mike, because, you know, I'm used to being spoiled, you know, but in reality, it's not the case. Maureen spoils me, but, and Fred spoils us.
Oh, man.
You really have to, if you're going to keep up with Fred, dude, I'm going to expect a clock after this job.
Another shout out for that.
Yeah, for Fred. Fred, you're a good dude. Anyway, I think we'll call it here. We'll do this on our time, if need be, you know. So I mean, I was already here, so we might as well. I mean, I wasn't gonna. By the time I drive back, I would have gotten back to OG by 3:30 anyway. So staying late's fine. All right. All right, buddy. We'll see you in about a day or two.